Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello, faithful Squiz Kids listeners, and welcome to the Kids vs. Adults Weekly News Squiz. Your chance to see who's had their listening ears on and been paying the most attention to the week that just was. I'm Bryce Corbett. All week in the Squiz Kids Today podcast, we've been bringing you the big news stories of the day, run through our kid-friendly filter to make sure you know all you need to know about the world around you. Now, it's time to test how much of the week's news you've retained, and in the process, see who's smarter, kids or adults. Plus, of course, because it's a Friday, we've got all today's birthday shout-outs and all the shout-outs for the weekend coming, including the birthday reggae tune, because it wouldn't be a Friday without it. So, here's how the quiz works. 5 questions for kids about the weekend news, then 5 questions for adults. Whoever answers the most correct questions wins. Simples. You ready? Let's do this. All right, kids, here are your 5 questions. Question number 1. The biggest story all week was definitely the Matildas. Which country did they play on Wednesday night and sadly lose to in the World Cup semi-final? Yeah, that's right, it was England. Question number 2. Just as the Australian women's football team is known as the Matildas, the English women's football team are also known by which other name? And I'll give you a hint. They're an apex predator on the African savannah. Yeah, that's right. They're the Lionesses. Question number 3. Last sports-oriented question, I promise. Which team does Australia now play tomorrow in Brisbane in a playoff for 3rd and 4th place in the Women's World Cup? Yeah, they're playing Sweden. Question number 4. In the podcast this week, we learned about how a troop of baboons in South Africa took on and defeated which sort of a big cat? And I'll give you a hint, they're the fastest land animal in the world. Yeah, that's right, I'm talking about a cheetah. Question number 5. Also in the podcast this week, we learned that a popular online gaming console plans to crack down on bad behaviour on its platform. Is it A, Nintendo Switch, B, Xbox, or C, Atari? Yeah, that's right, it's B, Xbox. And if you don't know what Atari is, ask your parents, or maybe your grandparents. How did you go, kids? How many did you get right out of 5? Do you reckon that's enough to beat the adults? Yeah, I reckon so too. Okay, adults, now it's your turn. Fire up the grey matter. Here we go. Question number 1. Let's see how well you've retained your Matildas trivia this week, adults. What's the name of the Matildas goalkeeper who became a national heroine after Saturday's quarter-final against France? Yeah, that's right, her name is Mackenzie Arnold. Question number 2. What's the name of the town in Maui that wildfires tore through earlier in the week? Yeah, it's called Lahaina. Question number 3. A famous volcano in Sicily blew its top this week, spewing lava and sending ash into the nearby city of Catania. Which volcano am I talking about? Well done if you said Mount Etna. Question number 4. 4 Aussie surfers were found safe and sound this week after spending 36 hours lost at sea. Off the coast of which Sumatran province did the surfers go missing? Yep, well done if you said Aceh. Question number 5. The Labor Party National Conference is taking place this weekend in which Australian capital city? Yep, it's all happening in Brizzy, or Brisbane as it's otherwise known. How did you go, adults? How many did you get right? Did you beat the kids? Who won bragging rights this week? If you've missed any of these cool news stories throughout the week and you want to refresh your memory, all of this week's Squiz Kids episodes are available for a re-listen wherever you get your podcasts. Well, that's the end of the quiz, which means it's time for...
Shout-outs.
It's Friday, August 18. Today is Bullying No Way Day, a national day of action against bullying. I've stuck a link to teaching resources in today's episode notes. It's also a Friday, and you know what that means? Heaps of birthday shout-outs for today and the coming weekend, for which I reckon we need to crack out the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it! And it's a happy birthday today to Taylor from Junee, Tiffany from Woongarra, Tyler from Moama, Ezekiel from Earlwood, Lockie from Coburn, Dimitri from Kensington, Rihanna from Chatswood, Yannick from Putney, Georgia from Five Dock, Elizabeth from Forest Lake, and Ollie from Trangie. And belated birthday shout-outs go to Daniel from South Kingsville, Frankie and Austin from Bathurst, Cassie from Coolungluk, Sigma from Sydney, Jasper from Tingira Heights, and Ariana from Crow's Nest. And celebrating a birthday over the coming weekend are Leon and Aidan from Vermont South, Mace and Ella from Yass, Oscar from Bayswater, Catherine and Keenan from Manopara, Alicia from Henley Beach South, Nina from Mount Annan, Saiva from Googong, Ollie and Scarlett from Flagstaff Hill, Tony from Oran Park, Emma from Woongarra, Aliette from South Australia, Phoebe from Middle Harbour, Ben from the Gold Coast, Ari from Nightcliff, Lennox from Elwood, Tyson from Jerilderie, and Alexander from Caversham. And a special birthday shout out to Mr. Kenny at Cronulla Public School, who's also celebrating a birthday over the weekend. Well, that's all we have time for. I hope you're enjoying these quizzes. Don't forget, there'll be a new one dropping first thing every Friday morning. And the best bit, they're absolutely free. Just as all our other excellent content is also free. We're talking a Squiz Kids Today news podcast on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, a Squiz Kids shortcut or a Squiz the World every Tuesday, and for all the teachers out there, there's a Classroom Companion, our teacher-produced daily classroom activity sheets. Curriculum aligned and tied to the daily podcast twice a week, now on Mondays and Wednesdays. Genius. Check it all out at squizkids.com.au or simply subscribe to Squiz Kids in your favourite podcasting app and all this groovy content will magically appear. For now though, this is Bryce Corbett signing off and reminding you all to get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.